computer. Okay, so we're recording. And now I'm going to share the screen. Oh my God, where did it go? Okay. As I say, we're recording. Behave yourselves. Okay, let me find it. I got to find the file so I can open it. Deck. And then George will go over what he's going to be covering in class. I'll go back here and share screen. Okay, let's see, show the screen. Okay, can everybody see? Oh Lord, where did it go? Did it go away?
No, I've got it now.
It's there.
Everybody move to the side. We're good.
All right, there we go. Okay, all right, perfect. So this is the training class for Oracle of Denial and our agenda for class, okay? So everybody can ask George questions if you'd like. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute everybody but George. And then if you have a question, if you raise your hand, I'll unmute you so that you can ask George the question, okay?
Great.
Okay, so I'm gonna let George introduce himself.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody tonight? Is everybody on mute? Or
Everybody's on mute.
shake your head or wave your hands in the air like you just don't care.
Okay.
You probably read the bio, maybe you haven't. I am a psychic medium. I also communicate with angels. And I've been reading cards since I was 16. And I'm like 26 now. So it's been a long time. I got my actual first tarot deck from a bookstore in Manhattan when I was 16 years old. Started reading immediately, really badly, for years. And then I kind of figured it out, and I've been reading them ever since. I love tarot and oracle cards, and I really love this deck. So why don't we just dive in? I actually have a question for you, Chris.
Okay.
About how the deck came about, because I've been working with it for a few weeks now, doing some readings for myself and some friends. I absolutely love it. How did you create this? How was it born?
Well, it was created in Tracy's idea. So Tracy was a part of the creation of this deck. I got in touch with Leanne, and Leanne is an illustrator. So she and I got together and we came up, like each card was very specifically created. The photos were created for a certain reason. And the deck was created so that when you use this deck, you don't have to, keep running to the book and opening a page and opening the page. That was the biggest thing I found with some decks, is that you look at the photo and you have no idea what it's referencing. So that's how this deck kind of came about. And then Tracy, all the descriptions of the cards, Tracy did all of those. Tracy's not here with us tonight.
Well, it's a lovely deck. It's very usable, and I will tell you that there are a lot of beautiful decks out there, but they're not usable. And I'm living proof because I have a massive collection of tarot and oracle cards. Yep. Sometimes you see them, the artwork is stunning, but you get them and they just don't work. And that's because if the artist or the creator didn't have a real understanding of what goes into creating a deck that you can use for divination. So let's just jump right in. Now, I don't know at what stage many of the folks listening live tonight or in rebroadcast are at. I'm going to presume that we have a cross-section of people, from folks who are just beginning to read cards and people who are advanced and perhaps reading professionally. So just know that whatever stage you're at, this deck is great to work with, and you'll take away something of value, I hope. Let's talk about oracle cards first, what they are, and the process of divination. The word divination means to be inspired by God. And for centuries, people have read everything. People read cloud formations. They read the bones of animals that have decayed and been left on the ground. People will read feathers, seashells, formations of rocks and dirt and plants, trees. and the way that the branches and the leaves fall. And so this is really a tradition that is thousands of years old and probably goes back to before recorded history. An oracle card to me, well, let's back up a second. Let's talk about its companion sister, the tarot, because I feel that they do go hand in hand. The tarot, of course, is much older. I believe that the first tarot deck comes in around the 1400s, and it was initially invented as a game. The precursor were playing cards, which came from China in around 600. And oracle cards are much, much newer, much more recent, much more contemporary. The tarot to me, well, first of all, to have a tarot deck, and I'm sure most of you have seen one. Here's one example. The tarot deck is traditionally consisting of 78 cards. So that's one way you will know. And it's used for divination, problem solving. In my experience, I'd love to hear from those of you who are on tonight, but in my experience, the tarot I feel is most useful for getting a sense of timing of things. So if you're starting a new business, thinking of going back to school, selling a house, and also if you're looking for more emotional or psychological problem solving, like if you've met somebody, a potential partner or love interest, and you care for them, but you want to check them out, this is something that you can do in an ethical way with the tarot cards. And oracle cards, to me, are on a slightly higher spiritual level in that you're really asking about questions about your happiness, your purpose in life, things like, what do I need to do or know about really being happy and joyful? What do I need to do or know about having the best career possible? What do I need to know about my relationship with X, Y, or Z? That sort of thing. And I believe that when we're using either the tarot or oracle cards, that we are communicating with our soul or with the soul of the person for whom we're reading. I don't feel it is mysterious and magical, but on another level, it's really not. It's just a vehicle for bringing out the wisdom that we already have inside of us. I believe our soul is the part of us that knows everything about us, knows our purpose, knows our the choices that we need to make the best possible life for ourselves. And so with tarot and oracle cards, I really feel we're tapping into our soul. I am not somebody who really gives a lot of energy. I don't believe in evil spirits or that sort of thing. I know it's probably shocking to a lot of people for a reader not to believe in that sort of thing. I do believe that people do evil, and we have to watch out for that. But let's getting a little bit off track. Let's get our cards out now, and we're going to do a one-card reading. Actually, before we go there, let's talk about clearing the deck. So this is how I clear them. I take a new deck in my hands, and I just give it a good whack against my other hand. And that's how I clear the energy. Some people, Chris, you have some other methods.
Yep.
How do you?
You can use some sage, light it up, and then sage your cards. Everybody that's gotten a read from me has seen me sage the cards. Or you can use a crystal, and you can run it across the cards and tap it on the cards. Okay?
Selenite is a great clearing crystal. You can use it to clear your aura, a room, and definitely the cards. And the beautiful thing about selenite is that you don't really have to cleanse the selenite crystal. It clears itself. So when I'm reading, I always have a chunk of selenite on my table, and in between each reading, I just rub it over the deck as Chris did. And that's basically it. Now, the second part, I don't know if you can see this. The images now are facing, I'm going to turn the deck to face me. So when I get a deck and I'm touching it for the first time, I like to go through each card one at a time. I don't know if you can see me here. I'll turn it like this, like so. And I'm just looking at each of the pictures really fast. I'm not making a career out of it. I'm not doing a doctoral dissertation. I'm just going through them really, really fast, looking at the cards. You're not attempting to memorize. You're just touching them and placing your energy onto the deck. So if you haven't already done that, do it with me now. We're doing this really, really quickly. In dog language, we call this marking your territory.
Everybody, if you want to talk, remember, just raise your hand if you have a question, okay?
Yeah, anybody, feel free to jump in. If I'm not making sense, if I'm babbling endlessly.
Because you guys are muted, so raising your hand I'll put you on. Okay.
All right, so if you're not finished, just finish up on that really quickly. Now, Chris, you want to talk with me about preparing for a reading?
Sure.
How you ready yourself? So how do you do that?
If I'm doing a reading for myself, or if I'm doing
Yourself or for somebody else?
If I'm doing a reading for myself, I have to clear myself. I generally surround myself with white light. I sit quietly. I hold my cards. I think of the question that I have, and then I'll shuffle, and then I'll put them out, and then I do 12 card spreads. And I tend to use 2 decks. So when I read, whether I read for you or somebody else or myself, I use 2 decks. I'll take 12 from the Rider-Waite deck, and then I take 6 from my deck, okay? So you get a really good, thorough reading. Okay? And then if it's when a client comes to see me, I usually use my Sage. I'll clear the cards. And then I will hand the deck to the person that comes for the reading. And I have the person shuffle the cards themselves, because to me, I like them to put their energy on it, so it's their reading. Then after they're done, I take the deck from them, I spread it out on the table, and I have them pick the cards from there.
Beautiful.
Okay, that's how I do.
Very thorough. All right, so why don't we go through, I do pretty much the same thing, but let's go through just a very quick preparation. So if you have your cards handy, you can put them in your hands, hold them next to your heart. And let's do a little preparation together as a group. Okay. So just place the cards in your hands. I have them over my heart center. And if you choose to, just close your eyes for a moment, take in a deep breath. Just allow yourself to really become fully present. Let go of any concerns of the day. And I set the intention now that along with the angels and guides and master teachers that work with me, that anything that has happened from this point backward in time that might be harmful or detrimental to me or troublesome, just be cleared away for the time being. And in its place, I invite my soul to step forward. The divine light that exists in me and in each one of us, I invite that to step forward. And let's do that now for each of you, that we set the intention that that light that exists throughout all creation come forward and be fully present and really expand within you. And we further set the intent that the information and the energy that comes through will be of the highest order and the greatest help to each person who is reading the cards, whether you're reading for someone else or for yourself. And for this and for all blessings, we are so grateful, and so it is. All right, so open your eyes. Now we're going to do a 1-card reading. We're going to read for ourselves. We're going to do a 1-card reading, and I'm going to give you an example of how it goes. Before the call started tonight, Chris and I were just horsing around, and I shuffled the deck, and I asked for a message for the group. And this is the card that I came up with. Can you see that? Forgiveness.
Yep.
And I thought, well, that's a little weird.
She said
for a first message. But if you look at the image, and I'm showing you how I read a card now, how I would read this if I was seeing the deck for the first time. I'm drawn to the picture, and I see a lady here. This might be a priestess, I don't know. She's standing in front of a serpent, and it looks like she has her hands up in reverence. And of course, looked at the word, which is forgiveness. Now, another word for forgiveness is what? Letting go.
Mm-hmm.
So what came to me, the message for all of us, is that we need to affirm for ourselves, whether we're starting out new being card readers or we're experienced, that the process is going to be easy, it's going to be fun, it's going to be joyful. And if we have anything to the contrary in our consciousness, in our minds, that says, oh, I don't know how to do this, I'm not intuitive, that we just acknowledge that and let it go. So the message here is really about letting go of anything that's going to stand in our way. All right, beautiful. So I'm going to invite you all now to select a card. But before we do, you want to get into the right mindset. And what I do is I normally formulate a question in my heart and mind. So you can ask for a message, or you can just a general message, like, what do I need to know about my life right now? That's one. Or what do I need to do or know about blank? And that can be anything. That can be a new job. It can be a question about moving, your finances, or if you have a relative sleeping on your couch who won't leave, you're like, how do I get rid of this guy? Please tell me. So focus on the question now. I'm going to do this with you. Give it a good shuffle. Really focus on your question and pick a card from anywhere in the deck that you feel drawn to.
Okay. So then we can ask a couple people. We can unmute somebody and let them talk about the card they picked, George.
Yeah, absolutely. So who would like to share what they got, their question and the card?
Okay, everybody got their card? Well, we can go down one at a time. Althea, we're going to talk to you first.
Althea's first.
Okay, Althea, what you got?
I got strength,
Nice. Okay.
and I just asked, my question was, what do I need to know tonight?
Okay.
All right, and tell me if that makes sense to you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yes, very much so.
it does.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking for the strength card. So, Althea, tell me what did you react to when you pulled the card? Was it the word? Was it the image?
Althea, hold the card up so we can see it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if can you see it?
Yep, right there. Yep.
Yeah. I honestly went with the word strength, and then I looked at the picture.
Okay.
But right away, when I read strength, I just got this, yeah, you gotta have strength, lady. Yeah, it just, the power, a powerful feeling to me that you have to have the strength. It's important. So that's why I laughed, because I thought, wow, it knows exactly what it's saying. You know, I got the card I should have.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
I thought.
And Althea, the other thing that comes to me is I'm looking at the image. You have an ankh, and I guess it's sort of an altar, and there are many people with their hands up. So there's some kind of praise or worship going on. And when I look at that, the thing that I am aware of is that you are also tapping into universal energy. It's not just your own. There is energy in the universe that's coming through to support you, and it's ancient and eternal.
Thank you for saying that.
So the feeling that I have is you're not walking this path. If I were to share a message, it would be you're not walking this path alone. You
And I don't
definitely
think I am, no, but
you
yes.
definitely have your own strength, and there is another source, a stream of power and energy and strength to support you.
Thank you for telling me how to read the picture image. I think that.
Well, that's just the way. I don't know, Chris, if you, I'm babbling on
I
here.
agree, because I feel like Althea's been looking for her tribe for a while, so I think she's found her tribe.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's beautiful.
It's actually very, very true. More true than you know. Okay, we're going to go on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hang on. Okay, Ellie, we're unmuting you. Okay, what'd you get?
I got imagine.
Imagine. Okay.
That means I need to start dreaming about what I want to do and where I want to go. Time to start figuring out where I need to go and how to get there.
Yeah.
That's what I think, anyway.
Ellie, did you ask a question, or did you just ask for a general message?
Usually my questions when it comes to the cards is, what does Ellie need to know today?
Okay.
Pretty basic, I know, but usually they tell me where I need to go. I trust them.
That's beautiful. The other thing, as I'm looking at this image, there is a lady standing with her back to us, but her hair is kind of blowing in the wind. And there's a rainbow coming, and it looks like it's going right into the crown of her head. You see that? And to me, this is saying that there's a lot of ideas that come to you from spirit, ideas, inspiration. And the other thing is very interesting. I just hit on this. If you look at her hair, it also looks a bit, at first glance, like an octopus. And an octopus is one of the smartest beings in all creation. They're one of the most intelligent. So this to me says, in addition to being very intelligent, you are getting information that comes to you by way of inspiration. Now, you mentioned dreams. Is that a means of communicating that's strong for you?
It used to be, but I lost it. But I've been trying to listen more to outside voices, where you can hear, especially the radio. Sometimes they say that they speak to you through the radio, certain songs hit you where you need to be, and you sit there. And there's a couple of songs that sit there, I listen to and I giggle and I go, yep, I feel that.
That's great. I don't know if you work with color, but the other thing I'm prompted to say is it will help you to reopen that connection that you used to have with your dream state. So, for example, if you have a color that you see in your mind's eye, it just comes to you.
Purple.
Sit and meditate with that and allow it to flood your whole body. And if you do that before you go to sleep, the dreams will start to come again. I mean, they're already there. It's a matter of recalling them.
We'll give it a shot.
Good.
Okay. Thank you, Ellie.
Thank you. That was great.
Okay. Tracy.
Hi.
Hi, what'd you pull?
I got study and learning.
Ah. Might that be for the new job you're getting?
Well, my question was regarding any books that I would be writing for 2018 or publishing. And so what I needed to know about those stories or to make them better. And so.
Okay, perfect. Tracy's a writer, so everyone knows. And she wrote the description for all the cards.
They're beautiful, Tracy.
Thank you.
Oh, she's got a question. Althea has a question. Hang on one second.
Just wondered, are you an editor?
I am not an editor.
You're just a writer.
Right. Yeah, I just write the story and then hire an editor.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
But all of my stories come to me in dream, and then I write them in journals and then turn them into stories. And so oftentimes I'm doing a lot of this, the studying, afterwards and looking up places or time periods or things that I might dream of.
So it's more research after the fact.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, Tracy has some dreams that could knock your socks off. she always tells me about it. Althea's trying to ask a question. Hang on. Yeah, Althea.
Her card is spot on then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The person's even writing in the
Right.
in the card, which is pretty cool.
So you couldn't have picked a better card.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Perfect card. Okay. All right. Are we ready to go to Nicole? Thank you, Trace.
Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, Nicole, what you got?
I got the same thing. Study and learning.
Wow. Look at that. Wow.
And my question was, am I like I've been slowly starting to get into reading tarot, and so it's perfect because
study and learn.
I've gotten the books, I've been on YouTube, and now I'm here, and I'm learning and studying it. So it's kind of cool that that's like a affirmation or something.
You're on the right path.
Yeah,
absolutely. And just really quickly, when you read tarot cards, it's not just about the description too. What happens is after you've been reading cards for a while, you'll see like repetition, like when a certain card comes up, this is what it means, okay? Because a lot of reading cards is your intuition. There's 1,000 books out there on how to read cards, and you can sit and try to memorize them from here until tomorrow.
Right.
It's all about your intuition. You have to connect with your cards, okay?
Yeah.
And then you'll get so good. These are a crutch. I don't really need these, but I use them for my clients to sit in front of me. But after a while, you will get your intuition will get so good that you won't need a card. You'll just be able to pick things up psychically. Okay?
Like I kind of did when I had my reading with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything, George?
I do, but Althea has a question.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me just unmute her. Go ahead, Althea.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking, the cards, the pictures on the cards are going to tell a story too. So if you studied the picture, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. Study the picture. Look at the picture, like George had said. The head looks like an octopus. So
right.
He's really taking that picture and he's pulling it apart.
Okay.
Okay.
The other thing, Althea, that I found is that sometimes the key word will be the message that's applicable in that reading, and other times it would be just the keywords or just the picture.
Okay.
And then sometimes it might not be either. It might just be a section of an image. You'll see something that, like in study and learning, there's a bird in there. So the bird might hit me. There's also the image of an eye there. The iris isn't filled in, but if you look the upper right, it's there. So I just look to see what hits me on an intuitive level. And Nicole, just as Chris said, there are different schools of thought about reading the tarot. And one thing I've been reading for a bazillion years. I know Chris has really accomplished, been reading for quite a long time. My feeling is that if you try to memorize meanings, it's going to hurt you. I would avoid that like the plague.
Okay.
I agree with Chris that you want to respond from an intuitive place.
Yeah.
And the way that I've done it when I started was I had a journal. I would take one card at a time, look at it, and spend a day or two with it. And I would say, all right, this is a card of self-love. Okay, spirits, I want you to show me examples during the day of self-love that will reflect in my own life or in the lives of other people that I see. And then at night, I come home and journal about it. And in that way, the card and I became bonded. If you memorize a meaning, one meaning for a card, you're going to be stuck with that for life. and it'll prevent your intuitive self from jumping in and getting something that might be appear to be totally out of left field, but actually be exactly what the client or the sitter needs.
Okay.
You can learn the book meanings later if you want, but for now, just play with them.
Right.
Pretend you're looking at a storybook.
Okay.
You're jumping into the picture, see how it makes you feel, what comes to you, what words, what meanings. Just write them down.
Okay.
Yeah. After it's just practice. It's just practice and doing the readings and practicing. And the same cards, because I use the Rider-Waite deck, and there's like the world means a trip. It usually means someone's going on a trip. It doesn't say a trip, you know what I mean? And like, so my card, move on, is the gentleman holding 2 bags. Okay, that means whatever you're in, move on. It's time to go past it.
Okay.
Right. I made these so they're easy to read.
Yeah.
Easy to read. Okay. All right. Go ahead, George. What's next?
Althea has a question.
Okay. Go ahead, Althea.
I'm just wondering. I'm sorry. It went somewhere and it's not important.
She lost the question.
That's a sign of genius.
Oh, that's better than being a senior.
That's great.
It'll come around the block again.
Okay, I'll wait for it.
When it does, just
I'll
jump
write
in.
it down.
Okay.
That's why I got my pen.
Does anybody else have any questions or
Anybody
comments?
else want to raise their hand and ask a question? No, we all good? Okay, I think we're all good for now.
So, Chris, what are we going to do? Where are we now?
Okay, so we just did the 1-card reading. So now you want to do a 3-card reading. Past, present, future, mind.
Beautiful. So if you, when you get the PDF in hand, oh, look at this. This is really brilliant. Chris created this. We normally lay the cards down from left to right, although there's really no rules. You can create your own spreads. 3-card spread is very traditional. There are many different kinds, and you can adapt it. This is actually a wonderful chart. So the first one is past, present, and future. You can read about a relationship or a situation. Another one is body, mind, and spirit. Let's just focus on those 2 now. And I'll give you a choice. You can ask a question. You're going to need to ask a question in order to get the most helpful information. So you decide whether you want to do past, present, and future, or body, mind, and spirit. Body, mind, and spirit will be more for questions about your life purpose, basic things like, what do I need to know to be really happy in my life? Past, present, and future would be to look at a particular situation or relationship. What do I need to know about my career? What do I need to know about moving house? What do I need to know about investing in the stock market? Things of that sort. So you choose a question now. Really focus on it in your heart and your mind. Let the energy of the question inform your shuffling. And you'll know when to stop shuffling because your soul will tell you, it's enough. Stop already. So do that now. Just take a few moments and put out 3 cards, left to right. All right. Does anybody have their cards laid down that would like to share their reading? Don't be shy.
Who's ready? Tracy?
Ms. Tracy?
Sure. Hi, Trace. Okay.
Hi.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right, what you got? And which one did you do? Did you do body, mind, spirit, or past, present, future?
I did past, present, future.
Okay.
And it was regarding career.
Okay.
The past, I got past life.
What do you think, George?
Well, let's keep going. What I want to hear what you got first before.
Okay.
I don't want to, put my imprint on there yet. I'm looking for
Okay.
cards.
Present, I got betrayal.
Ah, that's interesting.
Yeah. And then for the future, I got guidance.
Ah. Okay.
Tracy, I don't know. The sound dropped out on the third card.
Oh, okay.
You got guidance. She got guidance. Does somebody have music on?
Oh, it's me. Hold on.
Okay.
Alexa, pause.
Oh, she got Alexa going in the background.
Sorry, I didn't think you guys could hear that.
Yeah.
So, Tracy, does it make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Though, for past, getting the past life card, it almost, once I saw it, I thought, well, maybe this is something I've done in a past life before that I'm doing again for a career.
Yeah, or maybe you're dealing with somebody from a past life.
Yes, that could also be the case as well.
Yeah. Which then makes sense for the middle one.
Right. So then the present was the betrayal. So I have a lot of change going on at the end of the year, a lot of severing. I quit my job, left some friendships, started new ventures. So a lot of cutting cords and moving on.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tracy, if I could jump in, and pardon me if I'm looking away from the screen, but it's a little hard for me to see the full image there. So I'm looking for past life. And my sense is that what you got, what Chris got is absolutely true. But I feel that there are two things going on two levels or layers. First is, I feel like the gifts that you have now, you've done before. I actually do see you as a scribe in past lives, recording the spoken word of teachers and pieces of history, that you've done that. That's kind of like in your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel that you have an ability to connect with past lives, both your own and other people, and that is now and going to continue to be an expanded source of stories for you. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, it does.
In terms of the betrayal, when you're looking for a card in the deck, it's a rule of the universe that it's always at the bottom. And that's what's happening. Okay, I've got them. As I'm looking at the past life card, there's this sarcophagus of, I guess this is Tutankhamun, and there are these rays of sunlight emanating. This just says to me that you've mastered this on so many different, I'm talking about your creative writing now in particular, that you've mastered this on so many levels and layers. The betrayal is, I feel that I want to be, again, I'm from Brooklyn, so I have to watch my language here. This is about you sharpening your BS detector. So that you see those two little things that I don't know what they are. Chris, you could probably enlighten, that are sticking out on the betrayal card at the lower left corner.
Okay.
That's what those are antenna. And I see you like wearing one of those space caps with antenna, and it's going to alert you, 12:30, here they come, watch out for them. So that before it even gets to be an issue, you're going to have a gut level sense. Now, you might feel that you are guilty, that you're somehow making judgments about people or being harsh, but it's not this. I feel you're being prepped to have that degree of just discernment, so that you'll be alerted before you have to get the person and wrestle them on. In other words, before they get into your sphere, you'll be able to like. It's kind of like a martial arts thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the third card was
guidance.
Yeah, I just feel like it's I'm sure you're aware of this, but it feels to me like your spirit team, which includes past writers, famous writers, and those who were not known, people who wrote great things but were not known, they were unknown, are there to work with you and to inspire you.
Wow.
So it feels very good and very powerful.
That's great.
Yep.
Thank you.
I think George is right on the nose with that. Right on the nose, George. And that'd be why he's here with me teaching this class, because he's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
You ain't so bad yourself.
He's awesome. Perfect. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm going to mute you, Trace. Okay. We want to do another one? You should see what I got.
What did you get? Let's share it with us.
I got Past is the Storm. Okay. And I got Present. I got Balance. And the Future, I got the World.
Wow. So what was your question?
Oh, I forgot. I think my question was for my upcoming business.
Okay. And do you feel you got an answer there?
Yes, I did.
Good. Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I got an answer.
Beautiful.
Yep, I got an answer. Okay. So do you want to do one more? Ellie? Hang on.
Question about mine. I understand 2 out of the 3. The first one I'm kind of confused on.
Okay.
So I did past, present, future. And I'm really excited about my cards, by the way.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay, the first one I got was Temptation.
Okay.
And then the second one for present is The Fool, which I thought was apropos.
Okay.
And then my third one, which I was super excited about, was Soulmate.
Yes, we talked about that the other day.
I know. That's why I was like, yes.
Sorry, George.
Sorry. We get very excited about these things. So my only question was, I don't understand for past what temptation has to do with that. Except all I can think about is like Adam and Eve and the beginning.
Can you share your question?
I don't understand exactly what this card.
No. What question did you ask in your reading?
Just past, present, future. Just show it to me. Show me my past, present,
like
future.
Relationship, or what were you kind of thinking about?
Probably was more on the relationship side.
Okay. What do you think, George?
I don't look at the temptation card as temptation. What I look at it as is distraction. I feel like in the past, you are clear about what you want, and you know in your heart and also your mind what it is you want, but you have allowed yourself to be diverted and distracted, even when you knew, okay, this is what I want. So, oh, here's a bright shiny object. He's looking good, or it's looking good, and so let me go over here.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
It does. Okay. I'm good.
Are you sure?
Well, if you want to tell me other secrets, I'll be more than happy to take them.
No, I want you to be satisfied. I don't, if it doesn't resonate with you, please tell me. I'm not.
No, it does. There's been sometimes when you're younger, you don't have the internal strength to do what you need to do.
Oh, honey, I hear you. You are preaching to the choir.
So you do what's best at that time to make sure that you are safe. So that's where I see that card.
Beautiful. And the Fool to me is about it's enjoying the adventure of this. In other words, enjoying the journey, not just being fixed on the destination, but enjoying the process and the journey of it.
I can see the Fool is twofold, though.
How so? Tell me.
I'm a bit of a fool on myself, but other people could be the fool.
That's great.
She's right.
And whatever you get is going to be valid. Just know that. You have to trust. That's a big part of the process of reading. Just trust what you get.
I'm excited about number 3. I'm super excited. Just
have
no patience, though.
That's why the Fool said to me, enjoy the journey.
Okay, well, we'll give it a shot.
Not just the destination, but enjoy it. So trust. You want to probably write that down and put it somewhere on your mirror. You really cannot get an incorrect perception. Trust everything that you get. Share everything that you get. You might interpret it incorrectly, but your perceptions will always be correct. Always be correct. When I was starting out, I was working with this lady, just to give you one example. I knew that her husband had passed. I had seen that. And then he showed me a candy cane. And I was really inexperienced with this, so I thought, oh, he liked candy. Well, she said, a little bit, but not really. I thought it was like diabetes or something like that. Well, what he was trying to show me was that he died on Christmas Day, showing me a candy cane. I went through every possible convoluted explanation for that candy cane. And it turned out he passed on Christmas Day. So you may misinterpret what you are seeing, but trust what you're seeing, hearing, feeling, knowing in your gut. And you just get that through doing lots and lots of readings. All right. So.
Thank you.
How we do it? You're most welcome. Thank you.
Okay. All right, George, what do you want to do next? Oh, here's this.
Does anybody have any questions so far? I know we've thrown a bit at you, but
anybody got anything? Oh, Althea's put her hand up. Okay.
I got 2 things. One, I wrote down the question I couldn't remember.
Okay.
If you keep getting a card over and over, is that a signal that you didn't do what you were supposed to do? Or why are you getting the card over and over when you pull the cards? You know, if you do your cards every day and you keep getting this one specific card like every other day or something.
It's a great question. Chris, you want to handle that?
Well, when you get first of all, when you start to get a card over and over again, they're trying to tell you something.
Right.
You've got 54 cards here. So what's the probability that you're going to keep pulling the same card over and over again?
But your energy's in it, right?
Go ahead, George.
I'm not sure what you mean by your energy is in it, but what Chris, I feel is absolutely right. If I'm doing readings every day for myself, and I throw the cards every day. I'm not doing a great in-depth reading because I don't have
I do too.
Needs, but I may just pull a card for a message. And if the same card is showing up day after day, it's like your soul or your spirit teachers, your guides and helpers are saying, hey, pay attention to this. This is important.
That's what I needed to know. Okay. I have another question.
Sure.
And it's my 3 cards. And the reason I'm asking is because I've never done a body, mind, and spirit. And my body was betrayal. My mind was new addition. And my spirit was celestial guidance. And I don't know what any of this means.
All right, so repeat those. The past was, or body was betrayal.
The body was betrayal. The mind was new addition. And the spirit was celestial guidance. And I don't know how to interpret this.
Chris, what do you want to jump in with me? Or?
Hang on. Tracy was telling me she had a question. So Tracy's going to be next. Okay, I'm sorry. I was going into the chat. I'm just learning how to use all this. So I was like, oh, what's that say? Ooh.
So just to repeat, Althea did a body, mind, spirit reading.
Okay.
And from left to right, she got betrayal, new addition, and celestial guidance for body, mind, and spirit.
Did you have health issues, Althea?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I mean, I do have two, but I have no signs of it. So I don't think I had them, but I do have two. I was anemic, and I've got the start of a tiny ulcer, but I don't have any signs of the thing.
Is it gone now?
We're working on it.
I feel like it's connected to your health, to be quite honest.
Which is the betrayal? I mean, all the cards, or what?
I feel like this is health related. This has got something to do with your health. Like, you need to pay attention to how your body is working and feeling. An ulcer is a sign of stress. So do you have things around you that are stressing you out a lot, or a person that's stressing you out a lot?
No, it's just not that I think of. The only thing I think of is I'm working on a book. Other than that, and the only other thing is I've become a vegetarian.
Okay. So you're changing. You're changing how you eat. I think you're becoming more aware of your body and what you need to function, and how to eat properly. And I think I'm feeling like a lot of this has to do with your health changes.
I've got a new water filter thing that takes out everything but God, and I'm off the fluoride, you name it. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think you're transitioning into a better place with yourself, your health, your mind, your body. You know what I mean? I think that you're off the fluoride. So I think there's going to be some movement here.
Okay. So that's for all the cards you get this from, or just the betrayal?
Well, George, what are you getting?
Okay, so let's go back to the basics here. Althea, you did body, mind, and spirit.
Yes, sir.
So you want to really let's focus on the first card, betrayal, as it relates to the body.
Okay.
Here is the message that I'm hearing loud and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Look to the ways in which in the past you have neglected your health. This is not about blaming yourself or self-criticism or anything. It's just saying, look back and review, assess it without blame, without any self-reproach. Say, okay, how can I correct those things now to make the best impact in the present?
And that's what I'm doing now, I think.
Obviously, clearly. So going to the next card, the mind, new addition. It's really the same message for body as it is for mind. What I'm seeing is a spring cleaning. In the spring, what do? We get rid of old clothing and books. We might give them to a charity. We do a house cleaning. We air out the place. We get rid of stuff that's crowding the place. We create more space. And what that does on a spiritual level, it creates the room for more prosperity for us. Not just material prosperity, but for other, more love, more happiness, all the goodness of life to come to us. So the new addition is, to me, the Native Americans have a tradition called the giveaway, where at certain times of year they'll give away all of their possessions, and the idea is that they're cleaning house. This is talking about a mental cleaning of house. So I don't know what form that's going to take. If you're already meditating, this might be the way to do that. But some process where you sit quietly and allow new inspiration to come to you.
Okay.
In terms of your work. And the last one, spirit, celestial guidance, is saying allow for help from the outside.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think it's a beautiful reading that you got here.
Was it? Okay. Thank you.
Well, how do you feel about the information from
I understood. I thought I understood the spirit card, but the other two I couldn't put anywhere except on the body. Yeah, this is not a perfect body, and I've known it for years, and now I'm changing it, and it's going to take a while to get it back the way it should be, I guess. You know, and
you're going in the right
healthy.
But you're going in the right direction. That's what.
Yeah, and I'm very pleased that I'm doing it. So.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, as you should be.
Okay, let me get to Tracy's question real quick. All right, Miss Tracy.
Hi, yeah, just real quick. Do you treat cards differently if they're upside down versus right side up?
Go ahead, George.
That's a great question, and the answer is no. And called reversals. And with the reason is I'm incredibly lazy. I don't want to have to turn my head, and I'm just lazy, really lazy. So I don't read cards reversed. I put them all upright. And if you ask 100 card readers, do you read reversals? 50 of them will say, oh, you absolutely cannot read adequately or proficiently without reading reversals. The other half will say that's ridiculous. And I know people from both sides of the fence that do beautiful readings.
Okay.
It's really up to you. Each card has a negative and positive potential. So just as we have the strength card here. All right, so what would the opposite energy of strength be?
Weakness.
Yeah, it's really not rocket science. Now, one of the things that I have a friend who's a wonderful medium, and she teaches mediumship, also reads cards. She said, in your mind, if you want to read reversals, imagine that you're looking at a cartoon and you animate the card. So upright here in the strength card, we have all of the energy is focused. It's focused on the ankh or a goal or an outcome. There are all these people worshiping the ankh or the concept of a concept or a god or goddess. And if you turn it upside down, what happens? The people are going to fall. They're falling to the ground. The ankh falls off of the altar and crashes to the ground. And so we think of strength as being very focused, very determined, very set on a target. If you reverse it, that energy becomes totally dissipated. So if you imagine the card as a cartoon and seeing what would happen if you turn the whole thing upside down, that's like a simple way to read a reversal.
Okay.
But, you know, you're all very sharp on this call. The more readings you do, you'll be able to sense the negative and positive potential if you choose not to use reversals. And you do want to look at that, actually, to become you want to look at both. You want to look both at the positive and negative side of any image that you see, and run it around in your gut and see how it comes out in the wash. Does that make sense?
It does. Yep.
Chris?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Okay. That's a great question.
Okay. What do you want to do with this 7-card spread? Horseshoe?
All right. So, what do you think? Are you up for this?
Is everybody up for it? Staying on the call for this? Okay.
All right. This is
face, Sally. I see your face. Don't make that face.
This is a long one. It's a bit complicated. How about this? Rather than we can't really do one for each of us, so I'm going to ask one of you to volunteer to be the reader. Well, that was a unanimous raising of hands.
Nicole, you want to try it? You've been quiet. You want to try it? Hang on, let me see what she's.
We won't leave you hanging, I promise. We'll work with you.
I can try. Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's get you to try.
Thank you, Nicole. Okay.
What would you like me to do?
We need somebody. You're going to be the reader. You're going to be Madame Zatska.
Pull my own cards for this?
Turban? No. No, we're dressing you in a turban and a jewel and a feather. And you have
Do you want me to pull my own cards?
You're going to pull cards, but you're going to pull them for somebody else now. So who would like to ask a question?
Who wants to get a reading from Nicole?
Althea, thank you. Okay, so
hang on. We're going to unmute her. Okay, so Althea's going to ask you a question, and you're going to pull 7 cards. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
And you're going to lay them down just like that.
Just like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to wait for her question first.
Yeah, just know before we go there that this is something you can do for yourself. It's obviously more expanded than a 1 or 3 card reading. I only lay down odd numbers of cards, and I rarely do more than 5. Again, because I'm lazy. But if you want to explore something in a little greater depth, this is a spread that's very easy. It flows beautifully, and you can use it for yourself or somebody else. You're going to do this when you want to go into some depth with an issue. So, Althea, you're the victim. The customer. And
poor Nicole.
Thank you.
You crossed her palm with gold, and now what is the question that you'd like to ask?
Can it just be a general question?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Will I have trouble publishing my book?
Okay, now that's a good question. Will I have trouble publishing my book? We're going to just go a little more advanced with everybody tonight. That's a yes or no question. Like, am I going to meet my soulmate? Am I ever going to meet the boy or girl of my dreams? I don't accept those questions from clients because
I got another question if you want me to.
No. Let's go with that. Let me just continue on this track. It disempowers you. You're either going to get a yes or a no. Right. If you get a no, then what do? You stop. Like if I say no, you're never going to meet the boy or girl of your dreams. You're never going to be happy. Well, what do? Go home and hang themselves. It's not a useful way to couch a question. So what I do is I help them reword the question in a way that's going to have power for them. So my way of doing it, and Nicole, I want you to chime in, but what I would say is, let's try this on for size, Althea. What do I need to do or know about successfully publishing my book?
Okay.
That's a better question.
And does that have more power or juice?
It's going to give more information.
More positive.
Yes, it is.
You want to feel the energy behind the question.
Right.
So, Althea, is that okay with you?
That's fine with me.
And Nicole, is that okay?
That's perfect. Should I start pulling the 7 spread now? Like I just shuffled.
I want you to go back to the question. What do I need to do or know about successfully publishing my book? And with that in your heart and mind, you're going to start shuffling again. Okay. I want you to reshuffle. You really hold. This is perhaps the most important part of the reading. Formulating the question and then holding the energy while you thoroughly shuffle. And when you feel ready, you're going to stop.
You're recording this.
Now, if you were both in person, you and Althea, you might choose to give the cards to her, have her shuffle, and then take them. And Chris has, her variation that there's all kinds of ways, and there's no one right way to do it. So just pick out 7 cards at random, and you're going to place them in this formation that you're seeing on the screen. And as you're doing that, please tell me, because I'm writing this down so I can follow.
Okay, the past, I got
the Fool.
The Fool. The present is a past life. Am I holding this up right? Can you see?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay. The future card is this.
What's
the Hermit.
Hermit.
The Hermit.
Okay.
So you're writing a book, right?
Yes.
Advice is why.
Mm.
Influence, I got betrayal.
Card.
Obstacles is the offer. Outcome is yes.
All right.
That's awesome.
Okay,
There you go.
Nicole, before we go, that was great. I just want to go through the cards quickly. 1 through 7. We have the Fool, Past Life, Hermit, Why, Betrayal, the Offer, and Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want you to do the reading.
Okay.
And we'll be here to help you. We're not going to leave you stranded.
Yeah, I've never done a reading before. It's kind of exciting.
I'm excited. I'm
Me
happy
too.
for you.
Imagine Ethel
Okay,
Merman
so
singing
your
to
past
you.
says the Fool, and we have, well, the first thing that sticks out to me is that, you know, the sun's shining in the background, so that's like a pretty nice day out. Everything's positive, but he's blindfolded, and there's an alligator in the water. So he's not really being smart. He's being a little bit daring, you know? Who does that? Like taking unnecessary risks, maybe. So that is in the past position. So maybe you've learned from that, or it's another thing from your present, which is the past life card. So maybe you already kind of know, okay, I've been there, done that. The future position is the Hermit, which is kind of like going down a dark hallway here. So it's kind of like you're unknown, maybe. You're going into the unknown territory. And that can be scary, but he's got the torch, and he's going to, you know, see his way through it, right?
Right. Nicole,
The future, none of us really know. None of us really know what's ahead of us. It's like none of us are given anything, really.
All right, Nicole, can I
Does
just
that make
stop you
sense?
there for 1 minute?
Yeah.
I think you're doing beautifully. At this point, if you're actually reading for somebody, I would slow it down a little bit. I love the stuff that you got, but after you explore each card, I would check in with the person. And
Okay.
see, you give what you get. You don't ask questions. You give what you get, as you did, and then say something like, do you understand this, or does it make sense to you?
Right.
So let's give Althea a chance to give some feedback.
Okay.
So far, it kind of makes sense because what was the first card? Whatever the first card was?
The Fool.
The Fool, okay. I've struggled with this book because it's mostly reality. And so it's been like, been there, done that, like you said.
Okay.
And there's betrayal in the book. And there's a lot in the book, and it's circling my life too. So far you're doing really good.
Beautifully.
Oh, thanks.
Beautiful. Okay, Nicole. So let's go on now. Let's go to card number 4.
All right, in the 4th position, the advice position is why.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Is that a why, like, why are you asking for advice?
I don't know.
Well, if I could just offer something.
Yes, please.
The Hermit card to me is saying that, if anybody who writes has to spend time alone.
Oh, yeah.
But because of the position it's in the future, it's saying be prepared and kind of clear your schedule to know that in the future months, that time is gonna have to be sacred for you. The why is an encouragement to go back to the beginning and be very clear on why you're writing the book.
Oh, I have a major goal. I set the goal in 2008 before the book came.
Beautiful. But again, because of this position, you're being encouraged to go back and look at it freshly. You're going to add to that garden in some way.
Okay.
All right, Nicole.
Can I tell you what the reason I'm writing the book?
Sure.
I'm writing it. I set my goal that I wanted to move to Ireland. And when I had to come back in 2008, when I thought I was going to stay, and I couldn't stay, when I got home and I had no job, no house, no car, no nothing, absolutely nothing. And I had 3 months before I found a job. I went, that's it, I'm writing a book, and that's getting me back.
Beautiful. So the other thing that I'm getting, Althea, about the why is not only your reason for writing the book, but then determining who you want to reach.
Oh, and I plan on reaching Ireland. This book is going to Ireland because most of it is Irish-based.
Beautiful. All right, Nicole, you're doing great. Let's go on to the 5th position, which is, this is like outside influences.
Yeah, and she got betrayal for this.
Is that meaning there's a lot of betrayal in the book? So is it meaning that, or is it meaning that I will be betrayed in trying to get my goal?
No, I don't think it's going to be anything that you're going to be betrayed for your goal. I feel that it's in the influence position, so I think it's influencing how you're going to get there, your goal, right?
Like somebody's going to betray me and I'll kind of have to step around them?
Maybe it's...
I don't know. I
think it might just be a part of the book.
Yeah, it's in the book. I can guarantee you.
Yeah.
Can I just share something quickly?
Yeah.
I agree with Nicole. I mean, you've already told us that betrayal is a theme of the book.
Kind of, sort of.
But I feel like there's another meaning to this. Sometimes what I do when I see a card, I'll kind of hold the energy in my gut, my solar plexus, and see. It's like putting it in the blender and see what comes out as a smoothie. The word for me, betrayal, transposes to sabotage. And I don't feel that this is an outside influence. I feel that the message here is just be mindful of the ways that you might sabotage yourself.
That's what I was thinking. As soon as you said sabotage, I went, I'm sabotaging myself.
So I don't feel it's somebody from the outside.
It's me. It could be self-doubt because I'll get so far and then I go, this doesn't make sense. Nobody wants this. And then I get it okay again. And then I go back.
Well, self-doubt can be a great saboteur, you know?
Okay.
Nicole, you're doing beautifully.
Thank you. Okay, so the obstacles is the offer.
And what did you get there? The offer.
The offer card. And the offer card actually looks really good. you know? I mean, there's a big pile of jewels here.
But it's an obstacle, right?
It's in the obstacles position, but
Okay, you don't have to adhere
I don't,
rigidly to each meaning of each position. You can flow with it. To me, card number 6 and 7 are saying there's an offer coming that you're going to say yes to. That's the message.
yeah.
I don't feel it's an obstacle. I feel like it's saying that the obstacles, that once you reach that point of having completed the book, you're ready, the obstacles will be cleared for you. The path will be clear and open. So your initial question, the way you worded it, is, am I going to get a deal? I don't remember exactly. Well, you've got your answer here, yes.
Thank you, Nicole, very much.
Thank you.
That is, you guys are cool. I needed that positive tonight. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So,
That was fun.
there you have, Nicole, you did a great job
You
with this.
did.
I did. Thank you, George.
It's, first time out, this is not a simple, it's a really advanced spread. Something
And I was going fast in the beginning. I was a little bit nervous. So
that's
thanks
okay.
for telling me to slow down.
Yeah, if I were doing this reading for a client, after each card or piece of intuition, I would share it with them and say, okay, does this make sense? Are we
Just resonate with them, or
yeah,
make sense to them, right?
You check in. So again, this is a great spread to do. You can do an in-depth reading on a subject for yourselves. So anybody have any questions before we wind up?
No. I don't want to go. This has been fun.
It has been great fun.
Anybody got any questions?
Thank you very much.
No? Okay.
Yes, our pleasure. Thank you so much. You've all been really terrific. So, Chris, if somebody on the call or somebody listening after a rebroadcast wants to get a copy of the deck?
They just have to go to oracleofthenile.com and they can pick up a copy of they can get a copy of the deck there. Yep. Yes, oracleofthenile.com.
Really wonderful deck.
Thank you.
Chris, thank you for creating it.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope everybody enjoyed the class, and I hope that we kind of gave you a little direction on, how to read your cards, how to connect with yourself. And the thing that I want to express to you guys the most is when reading your cards or reading for someone else, trust your intuition, trust your guides. I'm telling you, if you listen closely, you can hear them, and they'll never, ever steer you in the wrong direction. It's you that gets in the way. It's you. You have to get past yourself. It's you, but your guides will never, ever steer you wrong.
I do have one quick question.
Oh,
okay. On that other screen, you had the 3 columns for the past, present, future, and you had.
I'm going to be. I'm going to put this on the site as a PDF.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, because right now I'm adding the cards and all their descriptions.
Right.
And it's a lot of cards to add. So I got so far. So very shortly, you guys will be able to get the whole, and you'll be able to go on Oracle of the Nile and just hit the button and it'll download right into your computer.
Okay.
Yeah, this is really a great PDF. It's very, very thorough. So you'll be able to do a lot with this.
Yep. Okay.
I appreciate everything tonight. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. You're welcome. Have a good night.
Bye.
Night.
Thank
Thank you.
Okay.
Keep warm.
Okay.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Nicole.
You're welcome. Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Good luck.
Thanks. You too.
Have a great night,
Bye,
everybody.
Tracy. Bye, Ellie.
Bye.
Bye, Chris.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night, George.
Good night.
Okay.